Hi children, this is Vijaya signing in. Welcome back for another session, and we shall continue and also conclude the poem which we have started. And the poem is The Lake Isle of Innisfree. The Lake Isle of Innisfree, written by W.B. Yeats, William Butler Yeats, in the year 1888. And we have already learned that he was an Irish poet and who had served himself as a senator twice for the country of Ireland. So he was into direct politics also, and also he was into general administration, being a poet. Apart from being a poet, he was also a general administrator. And especially when coming to this particular poem, The Lake Isle of Innisfree, he describes that whatever the childhood days he spent in his hometown, which is an island, Innisfree, how badly he was missing when he had moved to a city in London. So just compare, like maybe when you had studied your middle school or primary school, there was a poem, you know, like Country Mouse and Town Mouse. There was a poem where a country mouse would go to town and town mouse goes to country, and they will not be able to, you know, stay there, and again they come back to their places saying that no, we cannot. So beautiful comparison is given. If time permits, children, try to please browse through and watch the animated poems also, which would be beautiful. You will love to definitely watch further. So here even W.B. Yeats also is feeling the same thing, and if given a chance, he thinks that if given a chance, the next day morning itself he would like to fly back to his hometown. And what he would like to do there, he would like to build one small cabin. And what material he would like to use to construct that small cabin? It is clay. Clay is nothing but thick wet mud. He would like to use it for the walls maybe. Then how would he lay the hut roof? What will be the material used for that? He would like to use the wattles. The word is used, children. Wattles are nothing but the twisted sticks of the trees or the branches. Then he would like to live all alone there. He does not want any like interruption and any disturbance kind of a thing, because he is a peace lover. Then he says that once I am shifted there, then maybe yes, there are chances of having at least some peaceful environment around. So just I quickly read out the lines for you all. So get ready with your ebook, children, and also have your running notes along. Listen to me. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there, of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee, and live all alone in the bee-loved glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the wheels of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnight's all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening's full of linnet's wings. Therein we have completed in the other session. Am I right, children? So in the first stanza he says that how would he like to settle down there, and he describes about his hut there, that is a cabin, and what else he would like to have it in and around of his cabin. First thing is he would like to build his cabin. Then he would like to plant around 9 rows of beans, that is French beans which we eat it, right? So that kind of a thing. Then he also would like to have a hive for the bees. This is something strange, right? Usually we won't prefer to have hive in our house. If at all we see, also immediately we call somebody to remove it, because the bees, they bite sometimes, right? So but here the poet, he loves to listen to the music of the buzzing sound. He calls it as music. Buzzing sound of bees he likes so much. So he also would like to have a hive for the bees there, and live all alone in the bee-loved glade. Then he says that then when he just sits in the evening or in the morning, being all alone in the hut built, then where he can see only the greenery which is filled with grass but not big trees. He would like to have grass around. So green, complete plain land filled with grass. Only one particular cottage kind of a thing, a hut kind of a thing he would like to build for himself, and he would like to reside where he can have 9 rows of beans, and also what, children? Only a hive for the bees. Then next one he says that once I start living there, then yes, there is a chance that I can have peaceful life there. And how does the peace come also beautifully he explains here. Peace comes in the very early morning when the sun starts rising in the morning. As the sun moves up, you know, he rises up, then he, like we all see the clouds disappearing, the moisture around disappearing. You know, like you call it as dew also. In the very like winters you see, and the foggy mornings you see. As soon as you wake up in the morning to get ready for the school around 6:30, you see fog around in December and all kind of thing, right, children? Then as you start to school around 8 o'clock, then it's no more. It gets disappeared because as the sun rises, it gets disappeared. So that's what he's comparing with the word wheels there. So as soon as the curtain is raised, then the original scene is seen. So curtain rising is nothing but the sun rising upward where the piece drops down. And he had like very differently he had given the description of morning, afternoon and night using different colors, which is nothing but, again I remind you, imagery as a poetic device. Midnights all glimmer. Glimmer is a dull light, because definitely in the nights darkness is found everywhere. So the darkness he calls it as what? Glimmer. So dull light. Then a noon, a purple glow. In the noon, in the very afternoon where the sun is exactly above our head. So he calls that combination of the colors, you know, of red and blue as what? Purple. So if at all you see, because it's an island, children, never you forget that. Wherever he would like to reside, that place is an island which is completely 4 sides covered with water. An island is always so, right, children? 4 sides water. So the impression of the sun, like in the morning of dawn to dusk, the colors would automatically change, because even sun's color also gets changed. So the reflection on the water is nothing but what he's explaining here and describing here. So in the afternoon, it looks like a very purple color around. And in the evenings, you know, he says that that's the time for the birds to go back to their nests. And especially he says that linnet's wings. He would like to see the linnet's wings moving in a group in the evening. So he says that is how he would like to enjoy the whole day, dividing it into 3 parts. One is in the very morning, second one is in the noon, that is afternoon, then third is evening followed by the night. So let's move on to the third stanza, children. So I believe all of you are ready. Shall we move on? Yes. I will arise and go now. So see, he's starting the third stanza again with the first line of the first stanza. I will arise and go now, for always night and day. I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey. I hear it in the deep heart's core. So finally he says that I will arise and go. So now it is my strong will that I would like to make it. I want to do it and I will do it. So he made it as a final decision. He says that yes, I will arise and go. See children, word will here, will, it's not a simple will, you know, which you use it as a model. But will here, it shows his firm decision. Will is nothing but his firm decision. Will has to do something, willpower, you know. So I will arise and go now. In the sense, the next minute, as soon as I wake up, I decided to go to my hometown. For always night and day, in the sense forever. So once I relocate myself to my hometown, which is Innisfree in Ireland, I would never come back, or I would never go back to any other place, and I want to permanently settle there. I want to permanently settle there. So he would like to permanently settle there. So that's what it means. He says that always night and day, in the sense permanently, forever, he would like to settle there. I hear the lake water lapping. So whenever you just visit any of the lakes, children, like you know, the currents, like waves of the water, you know, it keeps moving with the help of the water, and it touches the bank and it goes back. It touches the bank, that is the edge part of the lake or the river, and it goes back. If at all you're standing at the bank, you know, they touch your feet, the water waves, you know, they touch your feet and they go back. That you really enjoy. The touch is really beautiful. So he says the same thing, I hear. So whenever it comes and touches the shore, the water waves, you know, they touch the shore, there is a beautiful sound which he really enjoys. So the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore he would enjoy, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey. So whenever in the evening, no, he would like to visit the lake over there. If at all he stands on the road, when he walks on the road, or else a pavement. Pavement is the nothing but the footpath where usually, the pedestrians, they walk on the footpaths. Where there is a road and we are not supposed to walk on the road. So pedestrians usually take the pavement, right children? So here he says that if at all I stand on the pavement, or else if at all I am walking on the other side of the road also, I still hear the sound of the water waves touching the shore, which is lovable, he feels. And I hear it in the deep heart's core. So he says that sound, whatever he is enjoying, that the water lapping sound reaching to the shore, it can never be separated from his heart, because he had taken it, he becomes so emotional. He has got a lot of attachment to his hometown there. Then he says that nobody can separate him from all these natural things, where and which particular place gives him immense pleasure to live there. So he says their heart's core is nothing but, he's a die-hard fan of something. But that something is nothing but his own hometown, that is an island, that is Innisfree. Fine, just think children, if at all you are really given a chance to go to an island and just spend some time where you see all these kind of things, don't you feel like really enjoying the time spending there? Of course we love to. We spend thousands of rupees for spending around 3 days or 4 nights kind of a thing, a package, family package. We go and just we come back, and we will have it as nostalgic memories, years together we shall recollect all those memories. We can never, that's nothing but heart's core, that's still there in your memory. And especially in this lockdown period, whenever you are bored or whenever you are upset, it's a best tip I can give you all. Just go back to your Google Photos and just surf through photos of years back. Then you will really love to spend time on that if at all you are upset or something. Because that kind of thing, rightly we are missing all these moments now. So similarly, that kind of feeling when W.B. Yeats had it, and immediately he made up his mind to get back to his hometown, which was called what children? Innisfree, which was in Ireland, and which was an island having 4 sides water, beautiful environment around, having chirping bird sound, where he can see the sun rising and sun setting as well, and he could have happy and calm and peaceful environment around. So he's a peace lover. I believe all of you might have understood the poem. Is everybody clear with the poem? Right children? So let's quickly go ahead with question answers also. Shall we discuss the questions? Yes. Thinking about the poem. First question. What kind of place is Innisfree? Think about. So they are asking you to think about. You need not think children. Already he had used beautiful imagery to let you have visualization in your mind. So just write down the same thing. What kind of a place? It's an island which has got greenery around, which has got only the bird sounds in and around, and only the water lapping sound. All this I'm just giving you. Anyhow, I have just shown you the words also. No? So by using all these words, you can make use of them and write them. Next question. The 3 things the poet wants to do when he goes back to there. So when he gets back to his hometown, that is Innisfree, what are the 3 things he wanted to do, children? What were all the 3 things he mentioned? First one was what? To build his cabin. Second one was to plant 9 rows of beans there, and also to have a hive ready for the bees. Am I right children? Right. Next one. What he hears and sees there and its effect on him. What he hears and sees there. What would he see there? He would see the beauty of the nature in the very morning. So it's nothing but he feels as if it is wheeling. It's a curtain being used. So sun rising he would like to enjoy there, as if it is a curtain which is raised up and he is able to see the nature there. And what would he hear there in the very morning? It's a sound made by the insect. A cricket is it looks like a small insect. So he would like to listen to the sound made by that particular cricket. Then what he hears in his heart's core even when he is far away from Innisfree. So just now we have completed. So what is heart core, which he can never just take it away or separate it away from him. What is that? It is nothing but the water lapping sound which touches the shore. So as soon as the water like waves, you know, they keep moving and they touch the bank, the river bank or the lake bank, and they get back to their own place. So that movement of the water of the lake or the river is hardcore for him. So I'm just giving you in the form of a few sentences, children, but you will need to elaborate your answer and write down. By now you may have concluded that Innisfree is a simple, natural place full of beauty and peace. How does the poet contrast it with there he now stands? So now in the third one, you know, he feels that. Why does he want to relocate himself first thing? Because he was fed up living in the busy city, busy town. So that is what you will need to write the contrast. Already they have given all about the Innisfree, right children? About the island Innisfree. So how does the poet contrast it where he now stands? Where does he stand now? He stands on the pavement or the footpath. Pavements and footpaths are seen where children? On the roads of cities and towns only. So if at all, like right now presently, he is in his city and he is wanting to get back to his hometown. So he still feels that the next day in the morning, as soon as he wakes up, he would like to go back to his hometown. So as he was going on thinking that in the third stanza, it is said to be so that though he still is in city and town, but he can still feel the sound created by the water waves there. So that is what the contrast mentioned in the third stanza. Do you think Innisfree is only a place or a state of mind? So this is something, you know children, you will need to understand. Of course Innisfree is a factual place which is in Ireland. And also state of mind, yes, the way he had described by using the imagery around, like he says that like cricket sound, he says in linnet's wings also, and he says like a small cabin built with clay and all. So all these things, you know, yes, it can also be the state of mind. So don't conclude saying that yes, it is completely a factual thing, or no, it is only a state of mind. You can say yes, both. Does the poet actually miss the place of his boyhood days? Of course yes, otherwise he wouldn't have mentioned the poem having lot of emotional touch. In fact, look at the words the poet uses to describe what he sees and hears at Innisfree. So all these things children already I have discussed. Wheel outlet, so just close your eyes and you can just feel that where he had already made one hive ready to let the bees reside there, and having grass all around sitting happily. Evenings full of linnet's wings, where it's a time of sun setting where he can see only the birds moving in the sky. Lake water lapping with low sounds, the sound created with the help of the waves of the water also he can still hear, though he was in a town or a city. So that beautifully he had described the lake Isle of Innisfree. Children, I believe all of you have got a very good clarity. Yes, and try to browse through, and there is an animated version also available. As before starting this even I had gone through, which you also would love to do it. And we are done with the 4th unit, children. Good, great, we have done with 4th unit by now. So keep attending the classes the same way, and please do attempt all the questions what I am serving you in the worksheet. So this is Vijaya signing off. Take care.